Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. Today with 2 gift box ideas. Before Christmas I created a gift box in the shape of a bauble, and I got the idea from another channel which I quoted there. But my idea was to recreate that for Easter in the shape of more like an Easter egg box. Obviously it will be it's octagonal, can't even say the word again, so it won't be round. And then I thought maybe I can make it look like a carrot as well, which would be a nice gift box. So I thought I'd just give it a go. As always, or as usual I should say, I haven't made this ahead. It is in my head and I think it'll work. If not, I'll have to make some changes or not even post this video. What I want to put in this gift box though is not chocolates, but I've got little of these toys, and I have got another as well, similar size. I've just got one here for measurements. So whatever you want to put in your gift box, make sure that the circumference of your paper fits it. I've worked it out. Mine is fine. This is a 12 by 12 sheet. I just show you what I'm using today. This pieces here from Simply Made Crafts by Helen Griffin. This is not available anymore. I do know that. It was called Oasis Days and Nights paper pack, but I'm using up some of my stash. And I've also got, this was gifted to me, this is a very old The Works paper pad. I was just looking, I actually got some orange there theoretically, but this is just a mix of gingham, flowers and stripes. But I thought I'll have I picked one flower design here for the actual Easter egg, and this will be the carrot. So one thing I've forgotten with this one here, I meant to cut that down actually, so I'm leaving that at 12 inches and I want to cut it down to 10.5, and bear with me whilst I get the other piece for the Easter egg ready as well. For the egg box, I have cut my piece to 9 inches long here, and it's 12 inches across here. And now I need to score this at every 1.5 inches. So I'm scoring this at 1.5, at 3, at 4.5, at 6, 7.5, 9, and 10.5. And this gives me 8 sort of panels across. We will add a little piece later to attach it all the way around. So then we need to turn it sideways, and again we need to score it at, make sure it's flat here, at 1.5 and at 3. So, and we need the same 2 panels on this side, so we're scoring at 7.5 and at 6. So basically what this is, it's like the bauble, but we extended that middle piece to give us more the sort of oval shape. So I'm turning this upside down now so it's easier for you to see. I think with the pattern here we need to cut a few pieces away. Let me just get my pencil here. So at the top we're cutting away this square, this one, and this one, and at the very bottom we're doing the same thing. So cutting away this one, this one, this one, and this one. When I say cutting away, I'm cutting away the square, but I'm also cutting away the score lines here just to make it look a bit tidier. So I'm just thinking whether I've forgotten something. No, I think it's fine for now. I'm just having a look whether I actually in my design included the tab here on the side. I'll have a think off camera quickly. So no, I'm adding the tabs later. I forgot all about that. I have a little note here and got a bit confused there. So in all the squares that we have underneath these squares that we've cut away, I'm marking the middle point here, I'm eyeballing that. You can measure it. It would be then, if that's 1.5, it would be 3/4. So you can either eyeball that or, as I said, mark it. So, and you mark the half point here, just where you've just cut. So at the bottom, I'm doing it at the bottom line. That's the halfway point there. And I've got a silicone mat here underneath because I'm going to score now from the corner here to the middle here, and from that corner down here. I'm just lining my ruler there. I'm not bothered it's on the back because I think that's the way I fold anyway. The camera picks that up, so I'm the top, the triangle is the other way around. And the silicone mat gives me enough sort of depth of pressure so that it creates a nice score line. You can do this on your scoreboard, but I find that so tricky to line up in the scoreboard. I'd rather do it like this. So, and I'm going to do this on all these squares now here that are underneath or above the ones I have just cut away. Now that I have scored all these lines, all the horizontal and vertical lines, they are all mountain folds, so that the pattern you want to have outside, that appears here. So I will fold these all. I don't think I need to burnish them a lot because yeah, it's not really necessary, I think so. But if you wanted to, you could do that. So I think it's fine if I just burnish it sort of with my hands rather than with my bone folder. Also depends on the thickness of your cardstock. Let me just check mine here at the side. Mine is 250 grams. So I would choose a medium sturdiness. You don't want anything too light because you want some strength to this here. So now we need to create some tabs on the side. I'm just thinking whether I've forgotten to cut something in, but no, I think that's fine. Oh, pardon me. So one thing I've forgotten is we need to fold these triangles here now, and they become valley folds. So I'm just keeping this down here, and I'm just, I think I showed that in the other video as well, push my finger down here and press it so that I'm creating this fold here. So again, keeping the triangle down and pushing in from the back here. And I think this is where I advise to use actually your bone folder, so that you've got a good sturdy crease there, because that needs to be properly folded in. So again, I'm doing this off camera for all the 8 squares, and then I'll show you how we create the tabs. From my leftover piece of cardstock, I have cut a piece that is 1.5 inches wide and 6 inches long. It looks actually wonky here. It might be. I'm not too bothered about that. And I'm scoring this at 3/4 down this way. And then I need to score this at 1.5 and then at 4.5. And then we've got the middle section here for the longer part of the egg. I don't know if it's easier to see if I turn it around. So I need to be mindful as well which side round it goes. So, and now I need to cut, because we're cutting tabs. Bear with me. Yeah, I need to cut on the score lines here, on these 2 score lines, just cutting up to the middle score line. I hope I'm doing that correctly. And then at the bottom, I'll cut from this corner here to that cross here, crossing there. So, and then I'll do the other side in the opposite way. So again, there from the corner to here. And that leaves us with a piece that we can attach. Zoom out, no, I can't zoom out. That we can attach here, and that gives us the tabs that we need. If you want to, you can cut it down a little bit here, but I like the sort of 3/4 there. I find it easier and gives it enough sturdiness as well. If you haven't got any leftover cardstock, and this is obviously the pattern is sideways now, you can always use a different coloured one, but you will see this a little bit on the seam, so it's ideal to have something matching. I'm putting my glue now on these tabs here. I'm using my Barely Arts glue, which is a little bit leaking a little bit. You can use tape if you want to do adhesive tape. You can use an acrylic glue like Collal. That's quite good actually for building. Or I like to use the Cosmic Shimmer because it's a quick grab glue. I need to make sure though that I get close to the edge here without it oozing out, because that's where I want it to grab, sorry. And I'm just placing this on here, folding it over so then I can see how far I'm away from the edge, and that's just fine. Make sure the score lines line up, and then I'm just pressing this down, taking some excess off there. That's why I've got the paper underneath as well. I've been working with this Barely Arts glue for a bit now, let's say about 2 weeks, and I do find it's a bit more liquid than the Cosmic Shimmer, but I do like that it comes easily out of the bottle. So I'm leaving that to dry for a moment. What I will do though in the meantime is create some holes. I think with this one I'll do it at the top. I'm sure this is the top. So I have got a magic tool, I'll show you that in a second. This is a hole punch from X-Cut. I saw Sam Calcott use that and I really like it. So you can mark this with a pencil if you want to. Find the middle of this section here. I think what I did last time actually is I made myself a little template. I might just do that again before it goes wrong. So without actually getting the ruler out, I'm just going in from one side to the other. So when I put this over here now, laid onto that square and go through the middle, and I've got the cutting mat underneath, I've cut a hole through here. Oh, not right through. Maybe I should, I'll tell you what I do, I use that template to mark it only, and then I can cut it through. So if I place it on here, mark it, and then I can cut it through. So we'll do this on all the 4 squares here at the top. Need to hold the paper in place because it wants to turn with it. And yeah, so I'm still waiting for this to dry. This takes a little bit longer, and then I'll show you how we assemble the egg. Whilst this was drying, I could have actually stuck these tabs down as well. I didn't think about that, but to make this a little bit quicker, I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer quick grab glue now. So I'm putting the glue on the tabs here. Sorry about the noises. So again, making sure I've got glue here on the edge. Try not to get too much there to ooze out. I tell you what, I will use a brush a little bit and spread this out. I haven't used this in a while, and it's the end of the bottle as well, so I hope this is okay. So, and then I'm folding this side over. Let me put it this way so it might be able to put that in the camera. So I'm folding this basically in half. No, I'll leave it this way. Sorry about that. So folding this in half, so folding 4 panels over, and then this meets this end here, and I can press these tabs down and they should grab the according tabs or folds here. So pressing this down, but just in case I've got glue oozing out this way, I'm going to open it up straight away so that I don't have any glue residue sticking down where I don't want it. So, and I'm leaving it to dry like this now. It takes about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I want to show you something I've just done and prepared. So for the carrot, I have cut a piece that is also 12 inches long. I think I said that earlier. So 12 inches, but it is 10.5 inches down. So I have scored that as before at 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9 and 10.5, so same as before. I have also scored it on this length here at 1.5 and at 3, and I've removed these squares again. But on the length here, I didn't score it at 6, I scored this at 7 and at 9. You can alter these two panels. You could score it at 6 instead of 7 and then 9. That is doable. It depends a little bit of what shape you want. But as with the egg, we had this one here 1.5 inches wide. This is now 2 inches wide. And I hope this works. And I've also cut these squares away at the bottom here. And I've also marked at the bottom this time where the holes go, because at the top I want to add some greenery to the carrot. So, and as before, I need to create the triangles here at the top. So mark the middle again and do this. I will do this off camera because you've seen me do this. And I'm doing the same here at the bottom, but obviously we've got a longer panel here now. So all that changes is basically the size of the triangle. So again, marking the middle and still going up to these corners. I have scored all the lines in here and folded them. I tell you what, although this claims to be 250 grams as well, it's not as sturdy, and I've got a few creases in there. It was not as cooperative as the other piece of cardstock. So if you get frustrated with this and you find it doesn't work, try a different brand of cardstock. It might just be that. So for the flaps, again, I have taken the cut off and I've cut this again to 1.5 inches by, this is now by 7.5 inches, because the whole panel here is longer. So you need to measure what you've got from here down to here. So this is 7.5 inches in this case. So again, I'm scoring this at 3/4. And then I need to score this at 1.5. And then same as before. I'll tell you what, the easiest thing is if you lay this down here, you can see where you need to score. So I need to score this at 5.5. So that these basically mirror. So, and again, folding this. And I need to cut this again. So, making sure I'm doing it the right way. See, sometimes my brain doesn't function. Yeah, from that corner here to there. Need to cut that away. And then the opposite at the top. From that corner to there. Yeah, make sure when you have it that it's the right way around, because we've got the smaller piece at the top and the longer one here. And if you scored at 6 inches on the main thing, as I said, you can do, then be mindful to have it exactly there as well. And then you cut a longer triangle away. As before, I'm sticking this down here, and I will also, once it's adhered, glue these pieces down as before. I'm folding 4 panels over and glue this side down as well, and then I'm leaving that to dry. If you find that your tabs are a little bit too long, mine here obstruct the score line, you can still cut those down. It's just on the inside, nobody will really see it, but make sure you can fold these flaps over here and that doesn't interfere. So in order to fold this properly, I'm checking where the back is, and this is where I'm starting, and I'm pushing this in, and I'm gluing these two squares on top of each other like that. And I will do that with my quick grab glue again. You can also use adhesive tape, but then obviously you only have one go really. With this here, you've got a bit of wriggle room. I don't suggest acrylic glue because then you'll have to really hold it in place for quite a while. You do want a quick grab glue. And again, mine's very liquidy and it's also oozing out here. I need to be mindful of that. So just push these folds in and then make sure it's properly on top of the other so that the squares almost match. I hope my camera's not going out of focus because I'm very close to it. So, and I'm going to do that with the others as well now. So push these in, push this one in, and then put this one on top. I quickly do this off camera and then I'll show you how we create the top. For the top, I have threaded some twine onto a bead and I've tied a knot underneath because then I know it won't come out of these holes. If you've got thicker twine or some ribbon and you want to just have a knot at the bottom, that's fine. So again, I'm watching where the back is and I think I'll go in there first. Doesn't really matter, and you just thread this through and then again push this in, fold the others over and fold the others accordingly, or you can thread it all through first and then push the sides in, and if you pull it properly the holes at the top will align. You can put another bead on the top as a stopper. I think I did that at Christmas. And then we've got this sort of egg. Obviously, it's not a proper egg. I said that before, but it's a nice gift box, and you can put a nice, you can put another bow on the top maybe, or a nice tag. I think this is really pretty. And I'm hoping the glue has dried when I try it out now, whether my little cat will actually fit in there. I hope so. But obviously you can put some sweets in there, other sort of favours. I think it's got quite a good size. So let me pop that in there. See, that fits perfectly. I can close it shut. And see, that will be fine. I'll take it out though because the glue at the bottom might still be drying. So I can now show you the carrot. Oh, one thing I forgot with the carrot that I will quickly do off camera is I will shut the top. I will shut the top bit the same way I did the bottom on the other one, and I need to cut down this little flap here a little bit. Can you see that? Because with this one, as I said, I want to close that at the bottom or have the opening at the bottom, because at the top I would like to add something that looks like the green on a carrot. I've shut the top here of the carrot. This time I actually used double-sided adhesive tape. I just cut squares, 3 of them, and stuck them down. Reason being is I find the wet glue really weakens this cardstock, so have a look what goes with your cardstock. At the bottom where I've got the hole, I have put one of those paper fasteners in, and I put it upside down because I want it flat. And I've put it through 3 layers, and I have pressed it down because I want this really to sit flat. So when I open it up now and I push the fourth side over, because I can't put my finger on the inside now, I can sort of hold it in place. It's a little bit fiddly, but I can hold it in place there. Make sure it goes through the hole, and then I can grab it and fold it flat again. So it's worth holding it flat first before you put the fourth side over. It might not fold as flat as before because, as I said, you don't have any resistance from the other side, but you can sort of sit it down like this. Another option would be if you've got mini magnets to use them, but I don't know how many you would need, or have some Velcro, but that might be too much bulk. I think this is a good solution. You could obviously use the same technique with the bead on one side and then just, or even make 2 holes on every sheet, but make sure they match up, and then feed that through and have a little bow at the bottom. But I think this is a good solution, and the recipient can see where they have to open it. I've also got a pretty one here, but because I didn't, well, you have to do it this way around because obviously you can't reach it otherwise. So for the top, my idea is to add some greenery, and I just thought I used some cardstock, and I'm going to glue that down with my hot glue gun, and I'm going to switch that on now. I have just grabbed a scrap piece of green cardstock. Again, it's quite thin, but you want it to be thin and not too thick. This is just 2 inches by 5.5. It just happens to be like that. You could have it longer. It doesn't really matter. And all I'm doing with this is, because I want it to look like greenery, I'm cutting it in sort of, how much is that? Sort of 1.5 inches in. Maybe even just use the length of my scissors here and just do this, trying to keep straight. So, and when I've done that, I want to bend these outwards a little bit. I'm just using my thumb here. You could, oh, accidentally crease them. So you could use a pencil or so. You could do that if you wanted to before you cut them, but I think it'll be too difficult. So, and when I'm happy with it, it's not too much movement. Let me just try that with my pencil. That's a little bit better. I try not to tear them off. So when I'm happy with that, I try to roll this up here now. So, and I think I will just use the end of a thin brush just to get this round. Once you get going, it's again it depends on the thickness of your cardstock, how well that folds up. So, but I think that's okay. So see what I created here. So I can bend these down afterwards, but I think that would look lovely on top of the carrot. If you want it thicker, so I need to take a longer piece of cardstock. So I'm just grabbing this here. I'm hoping that my hot glue is already hot here. So I can, yeah, that'll be fine. So I can put a little bit on here to just glue this shut. Yeah, I need to remove a little bit here, bit of excess there. And then I might give my glue gun just a little bit more time to heat up. I can then just glue it on the top here, and I think I'll quickly do this off camera. I have a little look. I was just thinking I could maybe do with the odd embellishment here. You can obviously, cut out pictures, glue them on there, Easter pictures, flowers, anything is possible. I'll have a little think, or maybe even something on the egg. But because I want to keep this video short now, I don't want to create any embellishments or any tags here now for this video. But as I said, I'll just quickly glue the rest on, and then I'll show you the finished 2 boxes. So here are my 2 finished boxes. I will, I think, create some embellishments to decorate them, and will put a photo at the end of this video. and also I want to have this for the thumbnail. But yeah, I think these are really cool. I like the carrot. It only looks a bit like a carrot because it's orange. If you want this sort of pointier, as I said, score at 6 inches and make this part a bit longer. But I wanted to make sure everything fits in there that I wanted to put in there. And I think the recipient will see what this is. So yeah, I'm pleased with this and this one as well. I think they make nice little gift boxes. You can fit a lot in there and they are fairly easy to make, I think. Yeah, if you think that too and you really like these boxes, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video. As promised, I'm popping in with a quick snippet of how I finished my boxes. With this one here, I just put a ribbon around the middle here. I put a little bit of tape here, adhesive tape, on the back, and then basically came to the front, have a little bit of tape there. And as a background for this felt flower, which I was gifted last year in a set like this, I have just cut a little scalloped oval. I think that finishes off nicely, and I thought the flower goes nicely with the pattern paper. And as suggested earlier in my video, I have put another bead on the top, which basically holds this shut. And I've already got my gift toy on the inside, so that fits in there perfectly, and I think this is really, really cute. Then for the first carrot, I've only just put another of these ovals on there and just some of these stickers I had in my stash. I didn't want to do too much with it because I've got the busy pattern paper there, but I think that's quite nice. I might add a tag or something on the top there, but otherwise I think I can leave it like it is. But I have made another box because, as suggested, instead of scoring it here at 7 inches, you can score it at 6 inches. To be honest, I think this shape is actually nicer for the carrot. So you've got a bit less space there, but this bit is longer. Otherwise, they've got the same length. And you finish them as before, except for that where you're scoring it, that piece is longer, which actually made it easier to fold, I found. So, but otherwise I've finished it the same way. I've done the fastener here at the bottom, but I thought actually, like with this here, you could have the fastener on the top, or not the fastener, the closure at the top, and then use the ribbon to basically create the greenery. For the greenery, just to show you some options, and this is why I just switched on my camera before I finished this one, I wanted to show you this. I thought for this one I just used some wool. I've got this thick wool, I've already measured it, but I'm just showing you again what I've done. I've just put this around my fingers like this, just a few times. This is a thick wool, but you can use thinner wool, you can just use ordinary ribbon. And then I've got another piece of wool here that I will just feed through here through the middle, and we'll just tie at the top so that the ends of this piece here, they sort of facing down, because we want to cut those down. So I'm just tying a knot here. You could, it's basically like you're making a tassel. You could tie a tassel if you wanted to, but I will just leave it like this. I'm cutting these loops open. So, and I will also hold it a little bit like this and neaten this up. So I'll cut them all to one length. You need the right scissors for wool. Don't use your good paper crafting scissors because they will ruin it. So all I'm going to do is put some hot glue on there, and then I can stick this on the top, and I think that would look really nice. And as a change for the embellishments that I've got on both of these boxes here, I've just die cut a little rabbit. Again, cut a scallop, but this time in green, and because the rabbit was getting a bit lost, I put a bit of white in the background. And this is all cut from scraps which is always nice if you can use them. So again, I'm checking where the back of the box is, which is here. So this would go on the front here, and then I just glue it on the top. And I think they're really useful boxes. Yeah, as I said, these two already have the toys on the inside. This one would probably get some sweets or something else in there. You can fit quite a lot in there. I'm just thinking maybe even a smaller mug or something like that. So, or something, you know, not edible, which can be quite nice as well for Easter. Yeah, I hope you like these boxes, and I see you soon with another video.